In this video, you're going to open your third eye so you can let go of all the worries and problems that you have in your life. See clearly to the truth of what you want to manifest in your life. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and let's go. So what is the third eye? Well, it's a term that's been used forever through many spiritual and religious traditions, and quite literally what it means is it's your spiritual eye. It's the eye of truth. And you know, a lot of people talk about these techniques to specifically activate your third eye. Here's what I invite you to consider. What is your truth? Right? What happens is the reason David Hawkins says that the reason that most people don't live the life that they want and they get stuck on worry and stress and fear and lack of abundance and whatever, they are manifesting the things that they don't really want. Well, the reason he says is because they can't distinguish the truth from illusion. So my invitation to you is, what's your truth? Right? Remember that. Most people's problem is they can't distinguish truth from illusion. And if you can't distinguish truth from illusion, you'll work with the wrong business partners, you'll date the wrong person and it'll end up messing up your life. You'll have the wrong daily routines that are actually not bringing you to where you want. You'll be doing the wrong thing for a living, right? It's the wrong thought causing stress and fear, right? So what's your truth? Because what happens is we get caught on the wrong values. And when you open up your spiritual eye and you see from a higher place in your life, you can see a few things. Number one, don't sweat the small stuff. And like that one book title says, it's all small stuff. And to just ask yourself, like, will this thing really matter in 10 years or in 5 years or in 1 year? So think about some things that are stressing you out or you're worrying about in your life and ask yourself, will this really matter, like seriously matter in 10 years? Because Wayne Dyer says no amount of sadness that you feel will make someone else feel better. And what happens is we get in this place where we think because someone else is sad, therefore I should feel bad. No, if you actually can feel joy, even though they feel sad, your energy field is going to take over their fear and it's going to bring more love into the world, right? And so what happens is we accidentally do the exact opposite. No amount of worry is going to turn that situation into a positive situation. Right? No amount of you being poor is going to make other people rich. But we get into this place where we start to attach to illusions. Well, you know, there's nothing good about being rich, or, you know, I should feel bad because, you know, there's a lot to worry about, and have you seen them lately? That doesn't do anything. Right? And what happens is we get caught into the illusion of it. And when you open up your spiritual eye, when you live from a higher truth, when you live from a higher level of values, and you say, hey, okay, my primary truth and my primary values are to be love, to be joy, to feel love and joy. Because when I do that, I can transmute and transform a lot of my petty problems. By default, other people going through challenging situations, my energy will uplift them. It doesn't do any good for us to stress about war, to stress about the economy. If you can be that person who's in this powerful energy field, it's called the 100th monkey effect. The 100th monkey effect is when 100 monkeys started doing the same. When it got to 100 of the monkeys doing the same thing, it became this domino effect and everyone started doing it. Well, the same is so for the 100th human effect, is when enough of us can be in this powerful energy state, we're actually going to make, by default, other people move into that energy. So looking at the problems that you think you might have in your life, right? And asking yourself, is my career path right now, is that my highest truth? And if it's not, that's probably why you might feel a lot of stress or maybe not as much meaning as you could. So it's opening our third eye and being honest with ourselves, looking at it from a higher spiritual perspective and saying, does my career path align with my soul? Because when we're an ordinary level of consciousness and we're moving through the day, well, I gotta do this, well, I gotta do that, we rationalize ourselves out of living from a higher place, living from our higher self, living from our soul, bringing our spirit into our life. And when we rationalize ourselves out of it, what happens is we eventually cause our own stress, worry, fear, and lack of meaning in our life. We limit our abundance. So going through all the areas of our lives and saying, my relationships, is my relationship a representation of my romantic relationships, my friendly relationships, my business relationship? Is this a representation of my highest self, of my highest ideal? And going down the line at the different areas of our life, and when we get honest with ourselves and we really open our third eye, we realize, one, a lot of our problems are very insignificant, and two, all of our stress and fear, or the vast majority of our stress, fear, and worry, discontent, and unhappiness comes from our own miscreations. Our own miscreations where we build our career or our relationships or our everyday life out of things that are not in our highest ideals and our highest values. And it's impossible to truly feel spiritually connected. It's impossible to truly feel satisfied and happy when we are not living from our highest values, right? So it's starting to look at, does this person in my life uplift my energy? Opening up my spiritual eye, opening up my third eye. If I'm honest with myself, no. And I hang out with them out of guilt because I feel like I should keep hanging out with them, or hanging out with them for convenience because I've always done it, right? It's looking at, does this sexual relationship, is this an uplifting energy? Or am I doing this because I believe that there's no really good guys or really good girls out there in the world, so I'm settling? That's when the third eye opens and we get really real with ourselves about the areas of our life. Does how I make money uplift my soul? If the answer is no, I just invite you to consider that you can make it in a way that uplifts the consciousness of the planet, that uplifts your life and your spirit, that all of this is out here. The only reason that we don't see it is because we settle. When we settle and we believe in scarcity, we close our third eye instantly, and all we see is our limits of the physical world, and we allow what our limited eyes dictate to control what we can and can't actually attract into our life. So there's an image that's going to pop up on the screen right now. It's an image of a human energy field. And I just want you to take a look at that, right? That outer energy, there's a white light that comes right above the head, and it starts to create the energy field that I'm operating from, that you're operating from. I imagine you to look that this is how you actually look, right? Because my physical body isn't real. It's pure energy. If you look under a powerful enough microscope, all you see is energy moving at a very high speed of vibration. That speed of vibration is the speed of light, so it appears like it's a solid object to our physical eyes. Really, I'm an energy field. You're an energy field. So the white light that's coming out is dictated from the thoughts and images that we think and hold. And those thoughts and images that we think and we hold create a chemical reaction in our brain that's sending an electrical impulse through our brain. It's creating our brain waves. The oscillation of our brain waves is controlling, coming out through the top of our head and controlling the overall energy field that we're in. That's why the thoughts we think, the images we hold, the subconscious patterns that we hold, the perceptions that we look at the world control our emotions. What is your emotion? Your emotion is your energy in motion. And what happens is we get caught on the limits of the world, and we believe in scarcity, and we get disconnected from our source, and slowly our energy field starts to constrict. We don't feel as much happiness. We don't feel as joy. We're not attracting as positive of people into our life, or as much abundance or adventure as we desire. And it all happens because inside of this head right here, and right where that white light is coming up, is controlling our energy field. The law of attraction is a secondary law to the law of vibration. What vibration? That energy field. We live in a giant energy field, and my energy, whatever I'm sending out in my broader energy field, consciously and unconsciously, is bringing what I want into my life. And when you realize that, everything starts to make sense. When you get an image to what is actually happening, then it starts to make sense, right? So what happens is, over time, your actual brain synapses and your neural pathways in your brain, it's called a term. The term is that neurons that fire together wire together. So your brain neurons, your brain synapses, your brain actually starts to wire in certain ways to make it easy for you to think certain things. So then you start to get worried about money all the time, and it becomes an actual, it actually becomes a pattern in your brain. So you develop a tendency for your brain waves to start to work in a certain way that may actually not be in your highest and best good, but our third eye gets totally closed shut, and we don't remember that more money is printed every single day, and truly everything that you want already exists. It's just about that broader energy field that we saw the image of getting in alignment with what I want, because your dream house already exists. It already exists. It does. Now, it still might need to be built. Chances are it doesn't. Chances are it literally exists. But it already exists, at least in the imagination of the architect. And the only reason it hasn't happened yet is because I haven't come into vibrational alignment to make that thing so. Your dream trip to Bali already exists. Airplanes already exist. Bali already exists. I'm just not in vibrational harmony to start to save that money, to start to invest that money. I'm telling myself it's not possible. My third eye isn't open. I don't see all the real possibilities. Your soulmate already exists. It's just that our energy field is in a place of attracting that into our life. Our third eye is closed. We don't think that there's good guys or good girls out there. Or here's why it won't happen. Or I'm not good enough. Or I'm not this enough. Or I'm not that enough. That is not truth, right? That's illusion. Like David Hawking said, our biggest problem is we can't differentiate truth from illusion. And when you start to take a step back and you start to see the greater and broader truth in things, and you recognize you're this giant pure energy field, then the question is, how do I get what I want? Well, it's all about raising my energy. And that becomes the secret to creating what we want in our life. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com reminding you you're a pure energy field, and when you open your third eye and you start to separate truth from illusion and you ask yourself, what is your truth? What is my truth? Then you can start to build a life that feels good, that is good, that's full of abundance, happiness, joy, and love. Download my free success hypnosis below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It'll program your subconscious mind, start to rewire your neurons to fire and wire in a place of abundance to affect your energy field. Be sure that you press the subscribe button in the corner. I'll see you on the next video. Have an awesome day, and comment in where you're coming from in the world. I'm in San Diego right now. Love to know where you're from. See you soon.